By virtue of the powers vested in me as the acting Vice-Chancellor, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements being celebrated on this occasion. You may be seated. Distinguished guests, grandparents, parents, spouses, siblings, children, it's my pleasure and gratitude to welcome you on behalf of the Chancellor, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, and the Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Puleng Lenkabule, to this graduation ceremony this evening. Dumelang. How this is an occasion. Let us be lively. Let us enjoy. Dumelang. Abusheni. Lochani. Goeienaand. Goeienaand. Good evening. Sanbonani. Molweni. Ndimatekwan. Welcome to this grand occasion in which we celebrate the success of our students, your children, your grandchildren, your spouses, and significant others. We are celebrating today in the month of October. September was a spring month, and then we still continue to enjoy the nature of our country. Very few things will give us much pleasure as seeing our students graduate. From this side, it excites us. It reinvigorates us because it confirms that what we did in the past 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it's now bearing fruits. I want you to enjoy the evening. We are here, it has been long, I'm aware, and sometimes it was a hard journey, but the end of it, it shows that you are resilient. We are talking to those who thrive through all types of trials and hardships and sleepless nights, and those whose determination is bigger and stronger than any hurdle that was thrown in their paths. Graduates, you have reached the destination that only winners ever get to. And it is in order for you to feel proud today. It is in order to brag about it from this evening onwards. Tomorrow, the next chapter begins. A chapter of even more effort, more focus, more support giving, and more leading to even higher success. Let me welcome our soon-to-be graduates this evening. We are so glad that you chose UNISA out of 26 universities in the country and have made it today. Give yourself a round of applause. Yes. Graduating is about acknowledged competence that needs to be unleashed in a productive manner. Today is the testament that you complied with the requirements of the qualification you registered for. Allow me to pat UNISA's back as well. UNISA continues to be proud in its endeavors to shape futures in the service of humanity. its endeavors of building communities, and in contributing to the betterment of the lives of all in our country. We continue to provide space for students who would otherwise be without a higher education home, and we produce high-level and top-class leaders. We intend to continue with this good work. There may be blemishes along the way, but we are here as evidence that you did it. May I therefore invite you to sit back, relax, and celebrate the occasion. A gentle reminder for those who joined us late when the video was showing. When your name is called, please come along. We've got 2 feet here. Make sure that you stand in this box and you look that side and smile. These pictures are going to our archives. And then this red carpet is rolled for you. Please walk. You can do anything that you like. You can sing. You can dance. And then when you reach my chair, you don't stand. You don't pouch. You kneel. And then you are kept. Yes. And then you will be congratulated, and then you take another photo that side. You check, you smile, and then you exit to collect your certificate. May I just remind you of one thing? Our cell phones need to be switched off or silent. And also when we take pictures, let's not allow the light to flash because it disturbs the audience. Number 2, I'm humbly requesting you not to leave the hall until we call the last student that is sitting up there. Let us have collegiality, because when it was your time, people clapped, and then now we must wait for that student. I'm not alone in this journey. I'm accompanied by a team. We have our council members who have joined us. We've got Mrs. M.R. Maluleka Sekhodi, who's a council member, and Mr. J.J. Yonker. From the registrar's office, we've got Ms. Songo, who is an acting registrar this evening. And from the College of Law, I've got Prof. Budeli Nemakonde, who is the executive dean, and Prof. P. Mutapuli, who is a college representative. From the College of Economic and Management Sciences, we've got Prof. S.R. Malefane. From the College of Education, we've got Prof. Siroto and Prof. Dube. And this evening, Prof. Mashaba will give us the Chancellor's address. May I congratulate in advance the 5 candidates who entered this room as Miss or Mr. They will leave this room as doctors. May we give them a round of... It's Ndibuo Chiseve, Maretta Engelbrecht, Dinah Jonker, Johannes Henrik Smith, Shalin Ketiwe Mavimbela. Congratulations. Woo! May I recognize and acknowledge their supervisors, Professor Budeli Nemakonde, Professor M. Skuman, Professor J.S. Horn, and Dr. P. Raciela. You are all welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, may we allow Prof. Machava to present the Chancellor's address. He's from the College of Education.
the Chancellor of the University of South Africa, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, in absentia, the Principal and the Vice Chancellor, Prof. Puleng Lekabula, in absentia, represented by Prof. ZZ Nkosi, UNISA Council members, Management Committee, Academic Community, esteemed colleagues, proud families, and most importantly, graduating class of 2025. The Madekwana, at least Yafara Parapara. And good evening. Congratulations to those that are on my left-hand side. The theme of my address today is entitled From Graduation to Contribution, a call to serve. Today marks not only the culmination of years of effort, perseverance, and sacrifice, but it marks a beginning, a crossing over, a moment when the title of a student gives way to a new titles, including leader, innovator, teacher, entrepreneur, and above all, citizen. Now I know some of you are just happy to finally replace that student number 2020123456. From today, you reclaim your full identity with the concept graduate attached to it. Graduation is deeply a personal achievement. Each of you holds a story that brought you here. There is a story of determination, a story of challenge and growth. Some of you juggled studies with full-time work. Some balanced parenting, night classes, and deadlines that come fast than a payday. Some felt the temptation to say, I think this assignment I will just submit tomorrow. But while today is about celebrating a personal milestone, it is also a moment to pause and ask, what now? What comes after the applause? What comes after the photographs, the frame certificates? Is that after your aunt has posted you on a Facebook for the 10th time? The answer lies in the title of this address, From Graduation to Contribution, a call to serve. Education is never just for personal advancement. It is a privilege, a powerful tool meant not only to uplift you, but to uplift others. As graduate of this institution, UNISA, you carry more than knowledge. You carry responsibility, a responsibility to apply what you know for the greater good. Whether you are entering the worlds of business, the worlds of teaching, science, policy, arts, or academia, You are now equipped not just with a qualification, but with a power to influence, to inspire, and to build. Too often we measure success by titles. We measure success by salaries or status. But real success is defined by service, by the lives you impact, the communities you uplift, the legacy you leave behind. Graduates, remember, service is not always glamorous. Sometimes it is as simple as helping that neighbor child with a homework, mentoring a younger colleague, or treating your customer or your coworker with dignity. Even if your first contribution is about explaining to your parents what your degree actually means, that is a contribution. Sometimes it's just doing your job properly, because excellence itself is a form of service. In a world marked by inequality, marked by climate change, unemployment, and division, your education positions you to be part of the solution. South Africa needs not only more graduates, but more graduates who care. We have enough critics. What we need are contributors. You are the generation that must carry forward the unfinished work of transformation. You have the skills to innovate, but also the heart to listen. You have the tools to lead, but also the humility to collaborate. That is the kind of graduate the world and South Africa needs right now. As you step into your careers, ask yourself not only, what can I achieve? But also, what can I contribute? You may not change the world overnight, but you can certainly change the world around you. And if each of you does this, the ripple effect will be profound. Graduates, remember, Wi-Fi started with one signal. Don't underestimate your small beginnings. Let your degree be more than a piece of paper. Let it be a promise to serve with purpose, a promise to lead with compassion, a promise to live with integrity. Graduates, the future is calling, and is calling you. Answer it with courage. Answer it with vision. But most of all, answer it with service. On behalf of the university community, I wish you every success as you move forward. Not just as graduates, but as contributors to a better world. I want to say to you, go forward, go serve, and go shine. Thank you.
May we give Prof. Mashaba another round of applause? Thank you very much, Prof. Mashaba, for reminding our graduates about ethical leadership. If we don't practice it, then we are losing it. Caring, listening, compassionate, integrity, a call to serve. Thank you very much, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start with the conferment of the degrees and diplomas, may I kindly request you not to leave the hall before the end of the ceremony. We will just give our students just 2 minutes before we start. By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I shall now proceed to confer the degrees and diplomas of the university on the candidates whose names appear in the program. And I request the representatives of the colleges to present the candidates to me.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Ndibuho Chisebe for the degree of Doctor of Laws. I was the candidate supervisor, and it is now my privilege to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In his thesis, entitled A Critical Analysis of Trade Union Security Arrangements vis-a-vis workers' right to freedom of association under South African labor law, he undertakes a rigorous examination of South Africa's trade union security framework and their implications for the constitutional right to freedom of association. Through a comparative analysis, he evaluates international models, specifically those of Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States, which uphold voluntary union membership and permit non-union representation. He contends that South African labor law, by effectively compelling union membership through closed shop and agency shop agreements, infringes the individual worker's right to associate freely. The study further underscores the declining trend in union membership and the corresponding need for more inclusive and representative labor structures. Ultimately, he advocates the incorporation of international best practices and calls for the reform of collective bargaining legislation to enhance workplace democracy and ensure the effective protection of fundamental labor rights. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Dibuho Chisebe the degree of Doctor of Laws.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Laws on Dibuwe Chisebe.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Maritha Engelbrecht for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor M.I. Skuman, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis, a structural equation analysis of a victimized actor model of crime to bridge the gap between critical theorizing and empirical evaluation. She developed a model proposing that offenders are often victims of society and institutional inequality, which marginalized fostering criminality. Making a methodological contribution, she bridged the gap between theory and empirical research by adopting a critical quantitative approach using structural equation modeling. She operationalized constructs and derived hypotheses from the general, strains, critical, and labeling theory. Her findings demonstrate that combining critical theorizing with empirical methods deepens comprehension of crime, imprisonment, and stigmatization in South Africa.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Maritha Engelbrecht the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Marita Engelbrecht. Congratulations.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Diana Carolina Jonker, a colleague in the College of Law, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor M.I. Skuman, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Recognizing the need for academic qualifications in corrections management to equip graduates with the necessary knowledge and skills to support the Department of Correctional Services mandate to enhance employability, her thesis, a neat directorate curriculum and framework for a higher education qualification in corrections management in South Africa, proposes an Africanized framework for a fit-for-purpose qualification. The framework emphasizes alignment curriculum content with the DCS core mandate within the rehabilitative context, integrating experiential learning and fostering collaboration between higher education institutions and the DCS. It also highlights the importance of continuous evaluation to ensure that qualifications meet the evolving needs of students, the sector, and higher education.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Diana Carolina Jonker the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Dinah Carolina Jonker. Congratulations.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Johannes Henrik Smith for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor J.S. Horn, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled An Exploration of the Identification and Processing of Forensic Investigative Leads in the Investigation of Crime by the South African Police Service, Johannes Hendrik Smith investigates the role of forensic investigative leads and enhancing the detection and conviction of crime. Through a qualitative case study involving detectives, forensic examiners, and international experts, he identifies challenges such as resource constraints and the underutilization of these leads. Johannes Smith study contributes practical guidelines, a comprehensive framework, and scientifically grounded proposals and recommendations to improve the effective processing and utilization of forensic investigative leads within the South African Police Service investigative environment.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Johannes Henrik Smith the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Good evening. I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Johannes Henrik Smith, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Charlene Ketiwe Mavimbela for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request a supervisor, Dr. P. Rasiala, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In a thesis, Mavimbela Charlene Ketiwe, entitled An Assessment of the Complaints Management Mechanism within Mpumalanga Health, the case of Gersibande District, she delved deeper into the challenges of the Mpumalanga Provincial Department of Health and national guidelines in managing complaints and compliments and suggestion. Katie, where she employs case studies, semi-structured interviews, surveys with government officials and hospital patients from Embuleni, Emelo, and Evander hospitals, as well as the communities of Msukalingwa, Governor Mbeki, and Chief Albert Lutuli in the Gersibande Health District of South Africa. The finding shows that the leading causes of complaints are long waiting times, bad staff attitudes, missing patients' files, shortage and or unavailability of medication in hospitals. In addition, public hospitals are not patient-centered and face many challenges that contribute to their failure to resolve these complaints.
Furthermore, she found that litigations are caused by clinical malpractice and negligence fueled by lack of personal accountability. Ketiwe Mavimbela calls for the improved quality of healthcare services for patients and communities and emphasizes the need for a proactive and responsive approach to complaints management.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Charlene Ketiwe Mavimbela the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Charlene Ketiwe Mavimbela. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Look at the camera. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Laws. Matabo Lea Masaule. Valencia Matonkiso Musadi.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours. Ntokozo Junior Kunene. Pilile Sweetness Mkwanazi. Tumelo Oratile Moseki. Selina Mutupi. Greni Dipuo Mochwakumo. Mita Mushiane Mutubatsi. Tsetsa Rulani.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Nokukanya Elina Mahlangu received the degree of Bachelor of Education Honors.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Administration. Buhle Mthembu. Nokulunga Lungelo Shangasi. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Michelle Dury. Sepiso Maria Nakana. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Messi Afua Baloi. Daniel Bozi. Maliviwe Busheka. Maraseka Helen Dibitso. Lindokuhle Knowledge Dada. Vuyelwa Sinesipho Jafta. Nokutula Precious Gianna. Nkgodiseng Raisibe Lelaka. Valentine Linonyani. Grace Malihu Litsie. Nompumelelo Nosipo Lydia Mabele. Tapelo Godfrey Madonsela. Shady Christ Mafuyeka. Yasin Mahomet. Renai Irene Makoka. Gloria Nkateko Maluka. Eric Mandaz. Kaugelo Maputa. Kimberly Tamisa Catherine Mataure. Johannes Mamudiane Matabati. Kaugelo Hilda Matebe. Valencia Mampedi Matsei. Sandrine Sibuabua Mayombo. Lydia Morungwa Meso. Mokhadi Cynthia Muchitele. Dikeledi Leta Mudungwa. Petronella Bade Lisile Mufukeng. Mulondi Clemency Mohale. Matlale Gillian Muhuba. Malitabo Muima. Mendi Tandeka Mondlana. Velile Mukelo Mtetwa. Daniel Sabath Mubai. Constance Rukuzo Mufuswa. Natasha Ndlovu. Apelele Alia Nzingwe. Nkateko Nicolette Nkomondo. Pumzile Cecilia Nkwinika. Kanyisa Valerie Ntsumele. Zizai Joyce Fumojena. Marungwane Poshia Pala. Tertius Pullman, degree obtained with distinction. Dineo Violet Ramulahlwane. Levuani Hector Siaba. Mokhadi Doreen Sibieng. Emma Lindiwe Sitole, degree obtained with distinction. Rendani Vincent Tsikovi, Carmen Charles van der Vat, Ndileka Vena, Ayapila Zondani,
Thank you. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Laws. Nitesh Ajuda obtained the degree with distinction. Fadil Desai. Sanmari Duplessis. Tatum Holmes obtained the degree with distinction. Kuku Mavis Khosana. Winnie Khoza. Nkotleng Lekgatho. Shane Mabunda. Unkabezi Alpheus Makami. Chirilo Albert Makita. Congratulations. Dimakatso Masitlani. Look at the camera. Mukhobe Riatlehile Mashilo. Look at the camera. Vuyiswa Mhlongo. Yes. Look at the camera. Nonkululeko. Thank you. Thank you. Nonkululeko Mlala. Congratulations. Look at the camera. Uratile Ntwanano Moabi. Congratulations. Thank you. Takarani Gladness Mugari. Congratulations. Sorry? Lisiho Mloto. Congratulations. Yes. Let's go and look at the camera. Jelani, thank you. Thank you. Dilani Mtembu. Remind Vision Mzimba. Congratulations. Look at the camera. Ntokozo Ngube. Congratulations. Stop there and look at the camera. Spesite Mantiti Ndaba. Thank you. Thank you. A courteous Mpomu Shera Mudike. Congratulations. Kiamukhetsi Ramoka Koka. Kaylee William Santuli Hon. Mampeladi Kutlulo Shokwani. Moise Sitole. Khomutso Swati. Rifilwe Takalo. Zanele Thando Chabalala. Tinga Hangwi Tracy Chivase. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the College of Law. Lisedi Hope Madiba. Thelma Masiho Maimane. Loretta Susan Mkize. Melvin Mnisi. Mamukwena Portia Mojano obtained the degree with distinction. Kamugelo Mutlalipula Nkomo. Connie Sivanda obtained the degree with distinction. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce in the College of Law. Anneli Diega Cole. Busisiwe Elaine Dladla. Puluso Marcus Laka. Puti Nicholas Mabote. Mapula Kulufelo Madileng. Priyanka Mangaru. Annelise Charlene Maretwa. Libukhang Modise. Lerato Muloi. Sotelo Itumeleng Mpunyane. Musewenkosi Bantu Ndaba. Sfiso Bennett Nzimande. Untatile utlotleng tselapedi.
Thank you. Okay. Go on, so. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Sebiadi Sarah Mutung received the degree of Bachelor of Education Honors. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Education. Busiso Priscilla Kekwan. Mfushelelo Chauke. Kabelo Wilson Kule. Lindiwe Kumalo. Busisiwe Kubeka. Lerato Lekwana. Fortune Sehorane Mashego. Tinesia Makamu. Obakeng Maila. Snobile Elizabeth Maisa. Thank you. Thank you. Terence Tinyiko Makubele. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tulisile Masango. Irene Nokutula Matani. Thank you, Sonti Melvis Machani. Mtsusheko Mbekwa. Ntombesine Mshanga. Sibusiso Mshongo. Sorry. Katlego Mohale. Lerato Karen Moradu. Bontle Ndoweni. Nonhlanhla Ngwenya. Oscar Mamuchite Ntswan. Mandisa Innocentia Rampisa. Keniso Slindelo Shabangu. The degree is obtained with distinction. Lindokuhle Shezi. Anisia Sorofa. Nomcebo Luyanda Tabede. Malindi Sitohola Tsehla. Sina Ramasela Kunwana. Edna Mabali. Shibe Catherine Makafula. Jaftalin Fuki Marema. Poshia Mohanyechi Masipa. Kidiboni Asnath Mayo. Nomnikelo Lucretia Mulombi. Nandipa Monokali. Londiwe Petunia Nhlapo. Jakanjanga Poshia Pela. Angeline Angel Rents.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Silindile Thanda Mpanza. Madam Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be introduced to you. Mzwanele Gobozi. Okay. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Bola Hinjou. Tsembo Mageza. Stephen Khumutso Maholo. Panche Lotanang Mushwene. Look at the camera. Tony Kabelo Matlou. Dleni Lerato Matsoe. Chifiwa Leonard Maumela. Kanyisile Victoria Mutitimi. Mbali Ignatia Mpela. Gugu Aris Ndlovu. Mgibitswana Patricia Ngobeni. Ditsepu Thomas Peja. Anba Joti Pillay. Simangele Mihloti Shirinda. Lozen Elizabeth Walker. One.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in College of Education. Chauke Petunia, diploma obtained with distinction. Cordelia Samgelisiwe Ngiti. Cordelia Samgelisiwe Ngiti. Lomile Nonyana. Helen Potwani.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Law. Bongani Ntsuku Baloi, Nombulelo Sylvia Deda, Buhlali Kikai, Taviso Johannes Mabutla, Akani Obri Makubele. Thank you. Palisa Brilliant Malika, Kulufelo Mamija, Dineo Hope Masango, Nombuso Lungelwa Masango, Kensani Winnie Maswanganyi, Nomvula Doris Mshongo, Unati Mnyamana, Mahabo Felicia Mufukeng, Beauty Khotofatso Machai Moima, Noluvo Promise Mulota, Mamelo Mutaung, Octavia Mutua, Mutlokwa, Tebuho Mutlokwa, Kilibuhile Mutoko, Nonjabulo Helen Mpila, Tombikaise Felicia Mutlaba, Bonginkosi Andries Njamlenze, Buitumelo Gladness Ndlovu, Susan Ratava, Tato Valerie Shai. Ntombi Siweya. Mamugulwa Emily Tima. Ntokozo Nokwazi Teledi. Ngarabo Cynthia Chigubo. Emilia van der Merwe. Nokwanda Sabatile Zulu.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Zizile Londiwe Ndaba. Snokolo Noluthando Sibia.
Halala, 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 halala. This is an opportunity now to make noise. May the ladies with Muriri, ne? Murud, Mpempe. Let's make noise. Let's ululate. This is the time now. I'm going to give you the full minute. Make noise. Hey, 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 hey. Yes. That's it. I want that one. Yes. Thank you very much. May we sit? It's just gonna take 5 minutes, please. Can we just 5 minutes, then we're done, please. May we give our academics a round of applause? Yes, yes, yes. Today you made it through your hard work and also the dedication from our academics. Yes. I always tell the graduates that today, this evening, our sins as academics, we are forgiven. There is no more complaint about a Khocho lecturer who refused to give me 50%. You got 48% because you did not do the work. No more lies about load shedding. No more complaints about dogs that chow your assignments. Luckily, nowadays, we are using online engagement, so the dog cannot go to the computer and chow your assignment. Thank you very much for choosing the University of South Africa out of the 26 universities in the country, the University of the land. We are really proud to have you as our alumni. I'm just begging you to be the advocates for the university. Now you are an alumni of the university. Please join the ranks of our leaders, our CEOs, our community leaders. In congratulating you, graduates, I want to thank you for having enjoyed every kilometer of this big and long journey. That endurance has not been exhausted, and it should carry you to even higher achievements. Do not regard this as the end of the journey, but merely as the start of an even more exhilarating journey. You saw the evidence here on the front row. So I'm challenging you. Most of the diploma graduates were bowing there. Your time is coming when you register for your degree. For the degree candidates, I'm encouraging you to take your honors degree or master's degree if you've got a 4-year degree. For the masters, this is a challenge. We need to produce PhD candidates in the country according to our NDP. Your next degree is simply waiting for you so that you claim it. It's doable, ladies and gentlemen. Nizbonele nan. Let me be the first one to congratulate you. Let me be the first one to call you Dr. Ndibubu. Dr. Engelbrecht. Dr. Jonker. Dr. Smith. Dr. Mavimbela. Thank you very much, parents, families, sponsored. You contributed to this beauty that we see today. I congratulate you for staying rooted behind our graduates, supporting them, prodding them, pushing them, encouraging them, and financing them through all. We are aware that many of us do not carry much in our pockets. However, it is what we carry in our hearts that makes things happen. Be the change wherever you are, and let's continue to do good. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Halala. Ladies and gentlemen, now that you have graduated, you have become part of the UNISA alumni, you are now part of the illustrious Circle of Excellence. Your responsibility is to contribute and help define tomorrow. Remember, as the University of South Africa, we say we shape futures. So it's your turn now to do to others. Ladies and gentlemen, after this announcement, I would like you to rise for the singing of the national anthem, the words of which are to be found on page 24 of the program. And to remain standing after the anthem to enable me to dissolve the congregation. You are also requested to remain standing while the academic procession leaves the hall. By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I dissolve this congregation of the University of South Africa.